Everything is cost. Trying to save money, make it look good on paper, and they really don't care. They just want to get the numbers out, the vehicles out.
You see ambulances there all the time, you see fire trucks there all the time. You never know what it's for.
This is Rivian, an electric truck company that is part owned by none other than Amazon.
Oh yeah, they've been a startup for 5 years now. Everything they like to do is a startup, and everything is tomorrow or coming soon.
Rivian moved into Normal, Illinois in 2017, when the company took over an abandoned Mitsubishi factory that once employed nearly 1,000 unionized workers.
When I started at Mitsubishi, and it was October of '90, the union was already established when I hired in. I mean, there was a black and white set of rules.
And so how does that compare with what's going on with Rivian now?
Well, Rivian's pretty much the complete opposite.
Rivian is not unionized. As a result, workers have found themselves scrambling for a sense of order in often dangerous, chaotic conditions. The Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, has visited Rivian more than 20 times for violations including lack of training on dangerous equipment, hazardous environments, and employees crushed in machinery.
Safety there's a joke, figuratively and literally. I've never seen a place so unsafe in my life.
I just went and called EHS, Health and Safety, this last week for part in our area. The trim line, or the rubber gasket that goes around the back of the SUVs, they decided that they wanted to try heating it up to see if they could go and get the butyl in there to go in better. Well, it's cranking out all sorts of fumes and smelly and everything else. So I looked up butyl on the Environmental Health and Safety website. It's an eye and scare irritant. So if you do that, you need to have it ventilated outside. They just had it right there on the line, ready to go.
You know, a lot of people keep saying, well, they're a startup, they're learning. I'm like, yeah, but they're learning at the expense of someone's health.
There was one day I walked out of there from putting a headlight in, and I was bruised from here to here, completely, from trying to jam it in there. And they're, oh, well, it shouldn't go in that hard, you know. It is, and a lot of times it takes two of us to go and get it in and connect it right. Oh, well, in the next build, we'll fix that. It'll be all right. Yeah, if you work the line, they don't care. They don't listen to you. Everything is what the engineers say, or one of their the group leads or team leads say, but us on the line that actually put in the parts, now, that's not how it goes. It just goes in like this.
Rivian is now the third most valuable automaker in the world, but the wealth hasn't trickled down to its workers putting their bodies on the line.
Well, when I was at Mitsubishi, I was nearly making $30 an hour with shift premium, you know, everything, not including benefits, and we had great benefits. And now salaries, I don't even know what people start at now, but it's like $22 an hour. I tell people, I'm like, well, if I made this much, you know, 25, 30 years ago, shouldn't I be making more now?
They do have this whole big thing where they're like, oh, we're big family, we're out to help you and everything. The insurance has gone up, the benefits has gone down a little bit with it. No sick or vacation time, but oh, we're going to take care of it. You can't just hope these companies are going to give us money. And then, you know, RJ just got himself a nice little $1 million bonus in shares and a nice raise, but us, crickets. Oh, we did get a shirt for Christmas time in a nice little cardboard ornament that had like Rivian 2023 on it, so.
So over the last few decades, the shocking thing that we've seen is a decline in auto workers' wages. And that's a function of the fact that the number of unionized jobs has shrunken, while the number of non-union jobs in the industry has grown a lot. So we're at a key moment when the question is, are auto sector jobs going to continue to be middle-class jobs, or are they going to be degraded and become jobs that you can't support a family on as we transition to electric vehicles? Because it brings in new companies, old labor contracts get torn up, and new places have to be organized.
Rivian workers are now organizing with the United Auto Workers, whose historic strike with the big three automakers last fall has mobilized workers in non-union shops to demand more dignified workplaces.
What do you think people care most about?
The main thing is the contract with the answers, so we can look at it and say, all right, section 15 says you have to do this. We need some way of saying, no, that doesn't work. We're killing this one person trying to do this job when it should be 2 people. We want to have a good job. I want to be able to go in, put in my time, go home, enjoy the, my life and stuff. But it just seems like every day it's something else, something else, something else. That's why I got into the union. I was just so tired of the constant lying to and just not really caring. We're wanting to go and make a good vehicle, and they're just not seem to be interested. They just want the numbers.
To have a significant size manufacturing plant in the South that is doing electric vehicles and is run union, I think will be very important, both for its own sake and as an example to people elsewhere.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you'd like to see more stories like this one, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have any ideas for stories that you would like for us to investigate, just drop them in the comments below.